even our brothers, our Sudanese brothers, who are actually ancient Egyptians, know about us being Israelites and know that we are coming home, as you can see. And it's the world is waking up to understanding who we are as a people. And because that's happening right here in Israel, the people are fearing, they're afraid, and talking about the Israelis. And they don't want us to return. And it's a prophecy that the southern kingdom has to return first here. And at this actually same place, which I'm in ARAD, which is actually Jerusalem, the ancient Jerusalem, the real Jerusalem, that our people will return. As you can see, the return of the southern kingdom has begun. But let's begin by examining chapter 2 in Zephaniah, verses 1 through 3. Zephaniah 2 and 1. Gather yourselves together, ye gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a chaff, before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon you, before the day of the Most High anger come upon you. Seek the Most High, all you meek of the earth, which have wrought his right ruling. Seek right ruling, seek meekness, it may be you shall be hid in the day of the Most High's anger. As you can see, the Most High says seek him before the day of his anger. Where do he want us to come to seek him at? Is it gathering in our own land, or is it Mount Zion? Let's examine this very carefully, and you will see that the place that he wants us to seek him at is in Mount Zion. Revelation 6 and 12. And I beheld, and when he opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun was black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon was like blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, as a fig tree casts her green figs, when it is shaken of a mighty wind. And heaven departed away as a scroll, when it is rolled, and every mountain and isle were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great man, and the rich man, and the chief captains, and the mighty man, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in dens, and among the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the presence of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who can stand? The day of the Most High wrath is when the heavens will depart, and the day when men would hide themselves in dens, which is nothing but what we call today underground bunkers. But what before he comes? He said he'll give us a sign like blood moon, and the sun being black as sackcloth. Is this what we call a red moon or eclipse? This year Passover will be a tetrad, which is 4 blood moons. Let's continue and see through the precepts if we should gather in Zion before the blood moons or after the blood moons when the Mashiach returns. Zephaniah 1 and 14. The great day of the Most High is near. It is near and hurries greatly, even the voice of the day of the Most High. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. The day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds, thick darkness, a day of the shofar and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. I will also prove this portion of the southern kingdom would gather themselves in Zion, blow the shofar and fast and weep at the tabernacle that was built. This act will make the Most High jealous for his land and for his people. Most importantly, this act will be the prepping for the return of the Mashiach to Mount Olive. Joel 1 and 15. Blow the shofar in Zion, set apart a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the people, set apart the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children and those that nurse the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth of his chambers, and the bride out of the chuppah. Let the Kohen and the ministers of the Most High weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare your people, O Most High, and give not your heritage to reproach, that the nations shall rule over them. Therefore should they say among the people, where is their Elohim? Then the Most High will be jealous for his land and pity his people. As you can see, according to the scriptures, there will be a portion of the southern kingdom blowing the trumpet in Zion. The ancients knew this, and also knew this act would be before the Mashiach return. Now, shall we return to Zion before the sun is darkened and the moon is the color of blood, or after the sun is darkened and the moon is the color of blood? Let's examine the prophet Joel, then later Paul's writing. Joel 2:1. Blow the shofar in Zion, and sound an alarm in my set-apart mountains. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Most High comes, for it is near at hand, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There has not been ever like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Now, let's take a look at Paul's writing, where he got Joel prophecy from, and see if we are to go to Zion before the sun is darkened and before the moon is turned to blood, or after. Also, according to scriptures, there would be a portion of the southern kingdom there in Zion blowing the shofar before the Mashiach returned. But did they see and understand the signs of heaven and the Ruach Kadesh led them to Zion? Or did the Most High come himself in person and take them to Zion before the great day of the Mashiach, when he brings destruction on earth? Keep in mind that he said to seek Zion so that you can be hid in the day of his anger. Acts 2:16. But this is which was spoken by the prophet Joel. And it shall come to pass in the last days, said the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young man shall see visions, and your old man shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in the heavens above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire, vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and notable day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass, whosoever shall call on the name of the Most High shall be saved. The moral to these precepts is, there will be a people in Zion before the sun is darkened and before the moon is turned to blood. Message.